I don't want to be chubby. I want to be lean. I want to fit into my clothes for the rest of my life. I want to have a stack of energy. I want to live my life to the max every single day. How about you? Versus, I'm happy to be overweight. I'm happy to have no energy. I don't care if my clothes don't fit. I'm happy to be depressed and diseased. I think that sounds ridiculous, of course. So how do you get your body into great shape and stay that way for the rest of your life if you're not in great shape already? And do you need to be lean to be healthy? Can you be healthy without being lean? Now, you only have to look at any bodybuilding competition to know that being lean doesn't necessarily mean healthy. Some of the things that people do to get very, very lean are obviously not very healthy. And can you be healthy and still carry excess body weight? And of course the answer is yes, because the biomarkers for being healthy, which is having a stack of energy, being able to perform at your best, having a low resting heart rate, having all your internal organs working effectively, that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the subcutaneous fat, the stuff that you carry between your skin and your muscle. The reverse of that, though, is the visceral fat, which you carry in this area of your body, can be very dangerous. So there's a lot of talk about what do you need to do physically, what do you need to eat, how do you need to exercise to make sure that you are lean and or healthy and or both, depending on what you want to do. Now, I'm out here with my puppy dogs, and this is where I feed them every night. And one of the things that I don't do for my dogs is I don't count calories. But I'm never going to do that for me either. I buy great dog food for my puppy dogs. What I check on for my dogs is how much energy they've got, whether or not they're eating their food with excitement and enthusiasm, how hard they exercise when I take them out, and what they look like. Could that be a great marker for humans? How much energy do you have? Do you love going out to exercise? Do you love eating food? Are you enthusiastic about your food? And what does your body look like? There's a lot of hassle and controversy, and there's a whole heap of machinery now to count calories. Well, I never want to do that. I never want to be on a diet, and I never want to count how much energy is going into my body via calories, because that's all a calorie is. It's a measurement of energy. I just want to have a stack of energy. I want to make sure that I feel good all of the time. How about you? So here's an interesting thing to consider if you are a calorie counting person, because there's millions, if not a billion people in the world who are doing that, counting their calories, counting their steps, counting how many grams of carbohydrate, protein and fat they eat. There's a lot of counting going on. Well, I don't want my life to be controlled by that. So I just eat food, and if I haven't got any energy, I change what I'm eating. If my clothes don't fit me, I eat less. If my clothes are too loose, I eat more, because obviously when you're my age, you don't want to be too thin because that makes you look really old. So there's a lot of things well, I think that's a really easy process. Have a look in the mirror, and if you don't like what you see, change it. The thing with counting calories and dieting and being really aware of what you put into your body is, can it screw with your headspace? So you could be having a fantastic day, you really want to have a piece of cake, you look at how many calories are in the cake, you go, no, I can't have that because there's too many calories, and then consequently you miss out on a wow experience because you wanted to have a piece of cake, if you happen to like cake. The really interesting thing to consider when it comes to the counting of calories, the counting of anything for that matter, is it possible that the machinery used to do that, and or the labels that tell you how many calories there are in food, could they be inaccurate? Now, the people that test and measure that stuff, it's a really scary place to go, because they will tell you that a calorie counting device and or the labels on food, you ready for this, can be anywhere between 5% to 40% inaccurate. So what if the amount of calories in the food that you're eating on the label is 40% out? And what if the amount of calories you're burning according to your device is 40% out? I'm not very good at maths, but 40 and 40 makes 80. That could make for a very big difference in how many calories you're burning versus how many calories you are eating. And that could account for the people that say, I count all my calories and I do lots of exercise, I burn up lots of calories, but I've still got chubby bits on my body and I still don't like the way that I look and feel. Could that be that your calorie counting is inaccurate? So rather than relying on a machine, rather than relying on a food company telling you how many calories are in the food or how much that food actually weighs, because that's another thing that's really interesting. If you think that this is 100 grams of chocolate or 100 grams of chicken breast or 100 grams of broccoli, if you actually weigh it, and broccoli you can weigh in the supermarket, of course, but everything else, we're relying on a piece of paper printed and put on something, a label that says this is how many calories and this is how much this weighs. And again, when that's actually been tested and measured, it's very inaccurate. Often 100 grams of something is not 100 grams of something. It could be 120, it could be 80, because they allow for variation. So I'm not going to rely on that. Again, I'll share again. I don't want food to control my life. I don't want calories to control my life. I don't want counting of anything to control my life. My husband, at one stage, somebody wanted to buy me a device for counting steps and heart rate and all that stuff. And he was very positive with his response, which was, please don't buy that for Rowie, because I don't want a machine to control her life. Because I am definitely a control freak, and I share that on a regular basis because I love it. I'm in control of my life, not out of control, so I like the word control. And I'm definitely a freak because I'm not normal. I'm not like everybody else. I'm not average. And I hope that you're not either. I hope that you are a unique, different, memorable human being, completely different to everybody else, which would make you a freak, because the word normal means the same as everybody else. So yes, I'm a control freak. But I don't want to be controlled by a device. I don't want to be controlled by counting calories or steps or anything else. So I do these 4 things, and I share this every day and with every single client I've ever had. And I've been a personal results coach all of my life. I've managed health clubs all over the world. And I think there's only 4 things to consider. Do you have a stack of energy? Do you perform at your best? Do you love what you see in the mirror? Do you love the way your body feels to touch? And I think they go together. And whatever you're doing with your eating and your exercise, are you getting the results that you want? Because a lot of people share with me, I've got this fantastic diet or this fantastic eating plan, but they're not getting the results that they want. So if you have a stack of energy, if you're performing at your best, if you love what you see in the mirror and the way your body feels to touch, and you're getting all the results that you want from the way you eat and the way you exercise, why would you change anything? And if that includes counting calories or having a device or whatever program you're on, congratulations. But if you're doing all the things that people say you should do and you can't say yes to those 4 things, so if you are tired and lethargic, if you don't perform at your best, if you don't like what you see in the mirror and you're not getting the results that you want, then surely you need to do something different. So I like to use the mirror, and I like to use how I feel. Do I love what I see in the mirror? If not, I need to change something. And if I don't have a stack of energy, I need to change something. And it's not to count calories, it's not to count steps, it's not to measure my body fat percentage or weigh my body or measure my body. It's simply, I want to get fresh air, sunshine, sleep deep, be fit, be strong, and live my life to the max. And if I do all of those things, I know I'm going to feel fantastic. And isn't that what life is all about? Feeling fantastic, which is why I'm out here with my doggies, because they're a really great example, yeah? They eat with energy and enthusiasm and passion. They exercise with enthusiasm, energy, and passion. They love me and I love them, and I love being with my puppy dogs because they're awesome, furry people. So what a great reputation to have. I love hanging out with that person because they're full of energy, they love their life, and they live their life to the max. Super duper doo, how are you? Living my life to the max, woohoo!